been a wild 24 hours. Yesterday, I dropped my personal experience and review of the PlayStation Portal, and I feel like it started a new world war. This video is a follow-up to go over all the troubleshooting that I've done to try and get this thing to work, and I'm pleased to say that the experience has changed and has turned positive. I've had a lot of suggestions from you all, as well as speaking directly to PlayStation, and we'll go over a bunch of things in this video, but I do want to start off by saying one thing, and that thing is that I always act with integrity in mind. It's not in my nature to go after brands and drag them, but I do review products based on my experience. The creator that I am, I've never stated that I am a technician or an engineer, but I'm just a consumer that loves technology and loves to showcase how it works in my daily life. And honestly, I truly believe that is the reason why a lot of you follow me and watch my content, which is nice. The reason I say that is because a lot of you may be like me. You may enjoy tech without being a tech expert. So if you're going to purchase a PlayStation Portal, here are some tips that can help optimize the experience better for you. These are not official suggestions or tips from Sony directly. These are just tips and tricks that people with the device have used and tried and have worked. So it's no lie that my experience out of the box wasn't great. I had connection issues, lots of lag, and the experience that I was expecting did not happen. I initially thought that this device would be an out-of-the-box solution where you can connect it to your Wi-Fi to your PS5 and stream your games. Remote play has usually always worked for me, although it's been a bit janky here and there. But if it's anything like remote playing on your mobile phone, I was expecting it to just work once it was connected, like it has for me. I don't think I'm in the wrong for thinking that, because I've never had to go through extra steps to get remote play to work. However, here are the troubleshooting steps that I went through to try and get this accessory to work and to improve the experience. Number one, I have a gaming router. I have an Asus one and it's always been amazing for me. It's a dual band connection, it gives 5 GHz and 2.4 GHz and has a really good range. The PS5 was connected to this router and the router showed a 5 GHz connection, but what I failed to do was go into the settings on the PS5 and change it strictly to 5 GHz. It was on automatic. So this was the first improvement that helped the connection. It wasn't crystal clear, but it was still absolutely playable and enjoyable, and definitely much better than before. Your internet service provider's router may not have the option for a dual band connection, and if it doesn't, you may need to consider purchasing another one that does give you this option. The second test we ran was moving the PS5 and plugging it directly into Ethernet. So of course this worked a treat. Obviously, Ethernet is always going to be the best option, but it's not always an option for everyone. If you have the option to hardwire your PS5 to Ethernet, do that. Obviously, I'm sure that's going to be everyone's suggestion. But I will say again, it was Ethernetted to a gaming router, not to the ISP's router. So check the settings of your router before you do this, just so you know what you're working with in general. Thirdly, be mindful of how many people are in your house while you're going through troubleshooting and testing. Like I said in yesterday's video, I knew that there were going to be bandwidth issues. I did state that. There is quite a few people in my household. So if you can have less connections running or less people in the house while you're going through the settings and testing, troubleshooting the device, it'll help you get some more accurate readings. But here are my overall thoughts on this. My guess is that the Portal is targeted to hardcore gamers and most likely ones that already have a banging PS5 setup. What I mean by this is I would assume they would have an Ethernet connection to their console and they've probably already gone all out to optimize their network settings in their household. But what about the gamers that don't have IT knowledge, or the casual gamers that just own a PS5 and have it connected to Wi-Fi, not to Ethernet, not to a gaming router? Or lastly, what if you're a parent buying this for your child who's been begging you for one of these and you've got no idea what it is or how it works? You'd probably do what I did and just set it up and attempt to play without any extra thought. I see the Portal and I'm instantly interested in it. I feel like I am a part of that target audience who does want to game in bed, or while my partner's on the TV, I can sit next to him and continue my games. So yeah, I'm the customer who would go and buy this. So I moved house recently and the option to have it Ethernetted has literally just only popped up last week. This is because we just recently had a fiber upgrade and the NBN box and router is now in our living space. However, it still requires a bit of maneuvering to get it Ethernetted to the PS5. I still have to punch a hole in the wall and thread an Ethernet cable through, and I haven't been able to do that yet due to personal factors. So I fall into the category of gamers who just run their PS5 on Wi-Fi. Although yes, I've got a gaming router. The point that I'm trying to make here is that those who do buy this and want to run it strictly on Wi-Fi, as in your PlayStation 5 on Wi-Fi, it may require some additional purchases of other routers, power line extenders or just fiddling around with the settings. And I think it's important to note that if you are thinking of buying the PlayStation Portal, you probably would consider doing a network upgrade or buying some new things for the house to improve that connectivity. If you're not prepared to do this, there's a high chance that you could have the experience that I had. It's not an out-of-the-box, ready-to-go solution for everybody unless you have optimized your PS5 setup and network settings. However, after all the troubleshooting, here is the experience, and I think it's pretty damn good.
At least with robots, I don't have to hold back that much.
It actually was like there wasn't any connectivity issues at all. Occasional frame drop, but at least it was stable. The picture was able to be looked at and understood without it being so grainy and crackly and just broken. And look, I have never claimed that I'm an IT expert. I have never said that. Again, I'm just a tech lover showing you my experience and reviews with tech, because at the end of the day, a review is formulated on an opinion and experience. Honestly, I'm so much happier now that this is actually working, because that's all I wanted from the start. It does work when I'm in the same room and does have some issues with dropping out when I walk away from my PS5. My house is very long, and because we've only just moved here, we're still trying to work on the extender part, so that's to be expected. But over time, as we start to increase our mesh systems and work on optimizing the house, I'm really excited to see how this is going to perform around the house. It can only get better from here, surely. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone for all your suggestions on trying to fix the issues, as well as your kind comments and feedback on my honesty. I think it's really important to always be honest and have integrity in this space, and as I said, that is how I always act. Did I too soon share my experience with the device? Maybe, but the experience that I had was the experience that I had. I can't change that. What's done is done. I've shown you the good and I've shown you the bad. The bad was yesterday, the good is today. The PlayStation Portal really is a fun device, and I really do suggest you do some research on it and make sure that your settings are up to scratch before you do purchase one, just to save you the issues that I've had. As always, I'll keep you updated with my continued experience with the Portal, because it can only be good from here.